Hello everyone, I want to formally welcome you to Winsome Training Institute or Consulting. In Winsome Training and Consulting, we develop human resource capacity and also do training on personal development. This section of training is strictly going to be based on personal development. And in this section, we are going to be talking about leadership. We're also going to be talking about time management under personal development. We're going to be talking about self-confidence. We're going to be talking about stress management. We're going to be talking about productivity. We're going to also be talking about self-awareness. We're going to be talking about career, work ethics, coaching, and etc. But within the 4 or 5 videos that will be coming across your way, we are going to be dealing strictly with leadership. Leadership is a major challenge for many people and many companies in our society today. So that is why I have decided to do a video that will solve that human need. Now, in personal development training, we are going to be exposing you to some of the core skills that you will need to build and also in order to be able to stand out in the society. Then, talking about leadership as one of the first topic that we are going to consider, the course content in leadership includes the definition of leadership, the concept of leadership, characteristics of leadership, objectives of leadership, the nature of leadership. We also have the importance of leadership, the need for leadership. We also have leadership effectiveness. We have difference in leadership culture. We also have how to develop leadership skills. We have a distinction between leadership, headship, and domination. Then we also have recent developments in leadership. Then leadership developments in future. So, what then is leadership? Knowing fully well that leadership is a major problem that many people face in our society today, especially establishments that want to, increase their level of productivity. Leadership itself is the act of what influencing people. But more than the act of influencing people, leadership is essentially a continuous process of influencing the behavior of people. It may be considered in the context of what mutual relation between a leader and his follower. So when we talk about leadership, there should be a leader and there should be the led, that is what the follower. Now, the leader may try to also influence the behavior of individuals or group of individuals around him to achieve a desired goal. Of course, one of the paramount attribute of a good leader is that effectiveness, that ability to influence those he is leading. Why? So that he can achieve a desired goal. That desired goal can be for his own personal goal and also to be able to what influence his lead so that they can achieve the company's desired goal if peradventure he or she is working for a company. Also, leadership is a dynamic process. Leadership is what? A dynamic process. Because leadership is a dynamic process, it deserves what? Effective study. You cannot just go into leadership. You must study leadership effectively before you would go into leadership or even take up any leadership role. It is a relational process that involves what? The interaction among what? Leaders, members, and sometimes outside the constituency. Remember, we are talking about leadership. Now, this is very, very important that good leaders are made, not born. As a matter of fact, we've heard an overused cliche that says leaders are born. No, leaders are not just born, they can also be made. You can buy into certain good quality that can make you outstanding when it comes to what your leadership disposition. Now, if you have the desire and willpower, you can become an effective leader as well. Leadership development is an important aspect and a recent issue also in the field of management practices. Virtually every company, every establishment, they have certain ways that in which they go about in what taking up their what doing their leadership development. Basically, leadership involves developing those quality and attitudes in managers which help them to look into the future and to bring necessary improvement pertaining what different leadership style. There are different leadership style, but that leadership has to do with what the manager buying into certain quality that will help them to what be effective. Involve what developing distinct quality and attitudes, distinct quality and what attitude. Now, in order to deal with the study of leadership effectively, I'm going to consider leadership as an act. So I will just simply define leadership. To simply put, leadership can be defined as what? As an act of what? Influencing people to attain group objectives willingly. If you must be an effective leader, you must bear it at the back of your mind that you do not have to use force to be able to what influence people. Leadership has to do with what the ability to influence people willingly, and they in turns buy into your idea for a particular goals or desired result to be achieved. For a particular goal and desired result to be what achieved. So we are quickly going to go into what the concept of leadership. The concept of leadership. The concept of leadership. We have the be, know, and do concept of leadership. Three distinct concepts: be, know, and what do concept of leadership. Knowing fully well that leadership is what a dynamic process which deserve what critical study. Now, good leaders develop through a never-ending process of self-study, education, training, and experience to inspire their worker into high level of what teamwork. Why? So that they can achieve a certain aim. Every good leader must develop themselves, acquire the necessary skills, acquire the necessary training, so that by the time they put in their effort of leadership in the people that they are being led, in the people that they are meant to control, there will be what effective input, and they will be able to have what effective or desired result as a result of their effective what input. Now, it is important for us to know that talking about the be, know, do concept of leadership, if we pick the first one as what the be concept of leadership, talking about the be concept of what leadership, you must what be a professional. We are going to take it one after the other. Remember, we are talking about what the concept of leadership. The first one is what the be concept. You must what be a professional. An example of being a professional or the B concept simply means what you must be what loyal to the organization which you belong, which you are serving. You must what perform selfless service as well, and you must what take personal responsibility. Loyalty to your establishment, you must be willing to perform selfless service, and you must also be what willing to take personal what responsibility. Also, you must be a professional who possesses good character traits. Example of the character trait that a good leader must possess is what? Honesty, competence, candor, commitment, integrity, courage, straightforwardness, imagination. You must have good imagination. These are what the competent trait, these are what the good attributes that makes you what? A professional leader or a good leader. Remember, we are still talking about what? The what? B concept of leadership. Now let's quickly move over to what? The no concept of leadership. In the no concept of leadership, there are what? 4 basic elements of leadership. We have the follower, we have the leader, we have communication, and we have situation. 4 major elements. Now, the know has to do with what? Know yourself. Know yourself. How much do you know yourself as a leader? Example of the know concept has to do with what? Knowing your strength and your weakness of your character. Knowing your knowledge. How much do you know about leadership, about the things around you? How much do you know? And also what? Knowing your skills. You see, knowing your strength and weakness of your character. You must be knowledgeable, and also you must what? Have skills. You must have skills. Nobody will bring you into any leadership position if you don't have the required skills to be able to pilot the affairs of any establishment. Nobody will bring you into any leadership position if you don't have the required knowledge. And also, being a good leader, you must know your strength and your weakness so that you will be able to manage the people you are leading effectively. Yes, it is true that everybody have flaws, but a leader must be able to what? Control certain things. How do you control those things? How do you control certain excesses when it has to do with your own personal traits? By knowing who you are. If you are able to know who you are, then you'll be able to control things around you, and you'll also be able to manage people around you effectively. Then, also talking about, we are still talking about the know concept. You must know human nature. Example is what? You must know human need, you must know human emotions, you must know how people respond to stress. Everybody responds to stress differently. As a matter of fact, people tend to what? Show off different characters when they are being exposed to some level of stress. So as a good leader, you must be able to what? Know these things. Know that people tend to throw up different character, and you should be able to manage those situations because they will definitely come. So your ability to manage those situations is what makes you an effective what? Leader. Then you must also know your job. Know your job. It is not a matter of being a leader. Do you know why you are being employed to be a manager over a company? Know what? Your job. You must be proficient and be able to train others in their task. The reason why you have been given that position, that leadership position, is because you have been exempted, you have been excluded from the rest based on your high level of experience, based on this your level of knowledge, and based on what your skills. So you are being given that position so that you can train others as well. So you must know your job very well so that you can train others. Then you must also know your organization. Know your organization. Know your organization. Know where to go for help when necessary. Very, very what? Important. Know your organization. What are the aims and objective of your company? What are the targeted aims and objective of your company? You must be able to know these things because this is what will help you to be able to pilot the affairs of what? The company or whichever organization that you belong. So we quickly move over to the do concept. Remember, we are talking about what? Be, know, and do concept of what? Leadership. The do concept talks about providing direction. As a matter of fact, people will come under you. You will lead people. And one of the basic function of a good leader is the ability to what? Direct people, to give direction. The ability to give direction. So example of this do concept is what? Goal setting. You must be able to set goals for your subordinates. Give them tasks, give them goals so that they can perform that task. And you must also what? Be problem solving. You must be able to what? Solve problem for your company, solve problem for the establishment that you belong. You must be what? Quick in decision making. Of course, most times as a leader, you're going to find yourself in a very tight corner. Your ability to make decisions at that particular point in time is what will guarantee your effective leadership. So you must be able to what? Make quick decision as well. Not just quick decision, but decisions that will be of benefit to the company. Then you must also learn how to plan effectively. If you don't plan to succeed, then you are planning to fail. Planning is very, very important. It is key in every organization, if you must sustain that leadership position and to be able to manage people effectively, you must plan your task, you must plan how to assign tasks to people, and after assigning tasks to people, you must do what? Try as much as possible to manage situations effectively. The do concept, remember we are still talking about the do concept. The do concept also talks about communicating, coordinating, supervising, and evaluating. You must do what? Communicate with the people that you're leading. You must coordinate them, because most people may not have the ability to manage certain situations. So you must be there to what? Coordinate them. You must be there to give them directives. You must also supervise them. As a leader, your major function is a what? A supervisor. You must supervise them, and you must also do what? Evaluate the things that they've done. You've given them a task. After they've been able to complete that task, you bring it to your desk and you evaluate, have they been able to perform the task effectively? This is also what makes you a good leader. If you're led, or if your subordinate have not been able to perform the task effectively, it is in your jurisdiction to call them to order and put them through on how to carry out their duty or the task that you have given to them effectively. Then we also have what? Do motivate. You must be able to motivate those you're leading, because of course people will feel demoralized at some point in their life. When carrying out that duty, they will feel as if they cannot go anymore. So it is in your jurisdiction as a leader to do what? To push them, not by force, but to be able to motivate them. The motivation you give to them is what will give them that extra push to be able to get the job done. So you must develop morale for yourself and the spirit. You must develop morale and spirit in the organization. You must train, you must coach as well, and you must what? Counsel those people that you have under your leadership. This is how far we can go in this particular video, but we have more video coming your way. Don't forget to watch our next video, where we'll be talking about the characteristics of leadership. We'll also be talking about objectives of what? Leadership. If we have more time, we can also go into what? The nature of leadership, and so on and so on. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit the like button, and also make active the notification bell so that you can get more video from us. You cannot afford to miss the next section that is coming your way.